Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't very often play around with Create a Sim, so today we're going to go through Create a Sim and we're going to create Professor Trelawney from Harry Potter. A lot of people seem to like my last video where I created the Dursleys house for Privet Drive. Really cool, so thank you for that everybody. There's not as many kind of like reference photos for Trelawney, so we do have quite a lot of free reign, which is cool. And now that we've got the paranormal stuff pack and we've got the magic pack as well, it's kind of perfect to create Professor Trelawney. It's going to be a create a sim and then a speed build kind of voiceover kind of video. I'm going to turn this into a let's play series because I build quite a lot in The Sims and I don't actually play that much. So it'll be quite nice to actually have a bit of gameplay as well. So I hope you enjoy and let's have a little look. So I just started off with a randomized sim and I started with the hair, and as we all know from the films, she has that really big bushy kind of hair. There's no description for her hair in the books. I did use reference photos as well, which are here. One of them's got the headband in, one of them hasn't. The only kind of description that we do get in the books is that she wears this, like, she's normally got a shawl on, and that she wears the really big glasses that magnify her eyes a lot. So I did try and make her eyes quite big in this. I didn't really have anything like a shawl, but I did find like a cardigan kind of thing, so that's really cool. I feel like the hair is quite similar to what she has in the film, but I think the reason I don't play with Create a Sim too much is because sometimes the detail, like, it just doesn't fulfill what I want it to. Some of the hair is just a little bit grim. I think, especially on this hair, the front of the hair, it's not too detailed. Well, they've kind of like put baby hairs in, but then there's like a solid line where the hair then starts, so it just looks kind of like she's got a wig on. Annoyingly, with this outfit, I couldn't put any accessories on there. This is the first time I got to play with the new skin sliders as well. Skin sliders, that sounds gross. So that was really cool. And I actually did, even though I'm doing her aspirations now, I did give up on the outfit because I got quite annoyed that I couldn't get exactly what I wanted. And then I moved on to the aspirations just so I can distract myself. So I ended up giving her the loner, the good, and the bookworm aspiration, and then I gave her the magic aspiration as well. I think it's to become like a master spellcaster or something. I do go back in and change the other outfits as well, because I do forget that they get changed sometimes. But obviously we only really ever see her in this one outfit, so kind of had to guess a little bit, but I think it came out good. Came out alright. Kind of kept her like smart casual because I feel like she is a little bit of a loner because she doesn't like to mix with the other students or teachers. So I kind of kept it smart casual because I imagined her to not have too many like nice clothes as such, if you know what I mean. One thing that really annoyed me actually with the hair was that there was no long curly ponytail option. I feel like I need to do a video on this, like, because I am actually a hairdresser. I need to do a video on the hair in The Sims because some of it's good, some of it's alright, but some of it's just shocking. So we'll have a little look at that one day perhaps. So with Trelawney, she is actually a fairly powerful witch. In the series, she can do non-verbal magic, which is a trait of a powerful witch. So hopefully in the Let's Play, when we kind of move on with her, we can get her to a very like powerful stage. And now with the paranormal stuff pack, we can do more kind of like crystal ball gazing and stuff, which fits in perfectly with her character. So I'm really pleased with how she came out actually. So let's go on to the build. So then, for the build, I decided to do a trailer home. Well, kind of a trailer home. Kind of using the paranormal stuff pack and the magic pack. I just used the two. I'm really enjoying actually just limiting myself to the 2 packs lately because I really get confused. Well, not confused, I get like a little bit lost with what like packs I'm using, and if there's too many items, I can't seem to actually use the items that I want or find the items that I want. A bit like when you're scrolling through the debug items. I started off with the trailer on the actual lot already. I am going to move the lot to Glimmerbrook. I looked up the name of the magic place, the magic neighborhood, that's the one. And everything works. I did have to move, well, it works now. I did have to move the hanging plant, which you'll see in a bit. There's a hanging plant just inside the door. I did have to move that for the fridge to be able to work. So Trelawney's pleased with it. She's been in there. She's been on her little seance table already. But I'm going to take her to the magic world soon as well. And I'm gonna, once I've moved her house, I'm gonna take her to the magic world and go and buy her supplies as if we're going to Diagon Alley.
Diagonally.
Just see what we can get for her, really. I really want to get her for a familiar. I'm probably gonna have to save up for that though, because I'm gonna lower her money because I did build this and then used the good old motherload cheat and then decided to put her in there because I didn't want to start from scratch. So with this as well, with having quite a lot of free reign, because we don't know where she lived before she lived at Hogwarts, because all we know is that Dumbledore let her move into Hogwarts, and then the nasty wench of Umbridge decided to try and kick her out, and then Dumbledore saved her. And then, yeah, so we only know that she lives at Hogwarts, and we never actually get to see where she lives, because we only ever get to see her classroom, which is really kind of, it's not like cluttered, but it's kind of like a little bit chaotic, and it's quite stuffy as well. I think it is described in the books as being a little bit stuffy, actually. Yeah, it's really, really hot, I think Harry says at one point. Probably should check this, but I can't remember. So near the back door, I really wanted to fill that space. That's where I put the hanging plant in a little bit, you'll see. And then, yeah, oh, I did. And then if you do download this from the gallery, you will have to move that hanging plant because the fridge does not work. This lot is pretty much off the grid as well. I tried to use the oil lamps. Are they oil lamps? I think they're oil lamps. And then put them on shelves because then it's almost like having a wall light. So it's out of the way, but it still lights up the room, which is cool. Because I didn't want to use the massive candle things with all of the candles coming off it, because it just took too much room up. I didn't have enough floor space for that. And actually, yeah, this is a tiny home. So you get all of the benefits of it being a tiny home, which is really cool. And I am going to buy her some outside plant pots and stuff so we can do the gardening as well, because I feel like she would be into a bit of like herbology if she was at Hogwarts as well. I mean, that's just how I feel she would be, but I don't really know if she would, because she is the seer. So, and if you think about it, depending on how you interpret Trelawney's like visions, she actually gets pretty much everything right. Like, she predicts that Harry is going to see the Grim, but then you don't really know if it's the Grim or if it's just Sirius in his like dog form, his like animagus form. And then she predicts that the first person that gets up from a table will be the first one to die of 13 people at a table. Should make that clear. So then when Dumbledore's having the little meal, he actually gets up first to greet her, but it only looks like there's 11 people at the table. But then if Ron has got Scabbers in his pocket, which is Peter Pettigrew, then she has actually predicted it, because then Dumbledore is the first one to die. I feel like I've been reading a lot of Harry Potter fan fiction lately, so maybe that's where I'm getting this from. But she pretty much predicts everything. She predicts a couple of other things as well. Oh, the rise of Voldemort when she's having an interview with Dumbledore. She has a little premonition in there. I say little. It's kind of a big premonition, really. Yeah, so all of the paranormal stuff pack I pretty much used and then raised it up and stuff and put it all on the shelves just to kind of give it that cluttered feeling and like the lived in feeling, because nowhere lived in in my head anyway, like in my whole life so far, nowhere lived in has got perfect spaces. Like there's always a little bit of clutter. Like you'll always like, or you'll open a drawer and there'll be something in there. Oh, I'd never use these like floor sticker things either in the decorations, but I really liked them actually. They kind of just added a little bit of extra, like extra decoration to the floor. And I really like with them hanging, I mean, as it should be with the hanging stuff, like if you size it down, then it actually like shrinks up and you can still attach it to the ceiling. But with some of the stuff, if you shrink it down, it doesn't like make sense, like the shadows stay bigger, or them like with the windows there's just like a massive hole left in the wall, so you can't shrink down windows. I played about with it quite a lot actually on the build, because I didn't really have anything to go from, so I did literally kind of just make it up. So that outside hut thing is the shower, because I had 29 tiles at like to start with on the trailer, and then I had 3 spare, and I'm allowed up to 32. So I made it into the kind of like shower room. I put a toilet in the trailer, and then the shower is separate outside, which kind of makes sense actually, because if you're going anywhere on holiday, I mean, I guess I could have made like got rid of them 2 tiles inside. I always start a sentence and don't finish it. If you're going on holiday, like in a caravan or in a trailer or something, you don't have, well, you didn't really used to, or it depends what kind of trailer you've got, but sometimes you don't have a shower, so you have to use the shower like on the grounds. So it kind of makes sense to have a separate shower. But I think it would make sense as well to get rid of the toilet from inside and add that into the shower room, because then she's got like a little shower block, and then we've got more room in the trailer. So I might do that actually, probably before we start on the Let's Play. I think with the Let's Play, I'm going to do it like episodes, so probably like one a day actually, because with the skills in that, you can progress them quite quickly. We're going to focus on the paranormal skill and the magic skill. We're going to take her to the magic realm and get her turned into a magic person, a wizard or witch, otherwise known as a magic person. Does anyone else do that? Really struggle with words sometimes. Like I always find that I speak better when I actually read. If I don't read much, then I really struggle with words. Like I can't think of the words to say. So we're pretty much done with the inside, I think, from what I remember. I was going to put curtains up at the window at the end, but good old Sims 4 doesn't let you alt and place curtains, so I couldn't. Well, I could, but they would have been nowhere near the windows, so it didn't really make sense. But I'm really pleased with how it came out inside. And then, because there was only a few windows, there's only kind of the windows at each end, and then that little one in the kitchen area, I had to just fill the wall and make it look like the trailer wasn't floating as well. Playing around with the terrain tools, because I really got into the terrain tools when I built my Tudor village. I really focused on the terrain, like where there was if there was a path, like I would sink the path down to make it look like it had been worn in, and then make it darker, and then like round the edges of I did a pond as well, like round the edges of that where all the foliage was, or the foliage. I never say foliage. All the plants, where all the plants were. I made that darker, like mud as well, so it all just blends in better. I think because otherwise it can look like it's floating. And I really like the terrain tools for the paths as well. They just like fit in better. They don't just look like they've been whacked on the top, which is cool. And I'm all about kind of realism, I think, with The Sims 4, which is again why I get a little bit frustrated with Creator Sim. I think we're not far off, to be honest. I can't really see what I'm putting in there. I think it was a cauldron, because I forget sometimes that I'm building in the dark, and then I remember and turn the lights back on. Oh, I already did add the garden pots, look. Okay, cool. So I don't need to buy them then. But we can kind of practice on. I want to make like a little garden. I want to turn it into like a little garden area, like fenced off. I think that would be really cool. And maybe like a little greenhouse. I could attach the greenhouse to the shower room when we've got enough money. I don't really know what career to put her in yet though. We'll see what career we should put her in, because what career path would fit in with like magic? I don't think there actually is a career for it. But no, I'm really glad with how it came out. especially with all the plants and stuff. I feel like it's like a little Garden of Eden in the middle of like the desert. But once we move it to Glimmerbrook, we might have to change some of the plants because they aren't in a desert. Looks like a little oasis, which would make sense because I guess with if she's if she's magical, then she can kind of help the plants to grow. Maybe if she's studied herbology with Professor Sprout, who knows? She might have given her some extra lessons. I always forget about the back of the builds as well, so I just wanted to add in some stuff around the back because otherwise it just I'll swing the camera around every so often and forget that it's not actually decorated. So I just whack some stuff down. Honestly now I can't remember what I'm doing because I feel like it's pretty much finished. Oh, there we go, it is finished. So I think I then save it to the gallery. Let's have a little look. No, not quite finished. Obviously me now being a little bit pedantic is making everything try and look perfect. So there we pretty much have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm excited about doing the Let's Play because I don't really get to play much, like I said earlier. So it's kind of exciting. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe when I can speak properly. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!